It's my privilege to kind of host this event and introduce our distinguished inductees this year. For those who don't know me, I'm J.P. Murrieta. I'm the Sports Information Director here at the New Mexico Activities Association. And on behalf of Executive Director Sally Marquez and the entire staff at the NMAA, I want to thank you for all being here. I want to give you a little bit of background on this honor as we have our three inductees into this year's class into the NMAA Hall of Fame. The NMAA Hall of Fame was established in 1976 and is comprised of an elite group of more than 100 accomplished individuals who have made significant contributions to interscholastic athletics and activities here in New Mexico. In order to be considered, nominees must show great support of the NMAA's philosophy and their objectives. They must have a combination of involvement in formulating regulations and procedures for various interscholastic education programs, and they must have a minimum of 25 years of service, 20 of which must have been here in New Mexico. Nominations are then screened by the NMAA Hall of Fame Selection Committee, which consists of current and former leaders within interscholastic athletics and activities. The committee meets in October each year and then selects a maximum of 4 individuals for induction. And these 3 individuals here today are very deserving of this honor. I am going to tell you a little bit about each of them, and they will be asked to come up here to the podium and say a few words, and then they'll be available for any interviews or comments once we've concluded. Our first inductee is a gentleman to my right, Dr. Crit Caton. During his almost 35-year career in education, Dr. Crit Caton served in numerous capacities, including teacher, coach, athletic director, principal, assistant superintendent, and superintendent in both New Mexico and Texas. He spent nearly 30 years in the Artesia Public Schools and was superintendent from 2012 to 2019 before retiring. Dr. Caton served on the NMAA Board of Directors for 7 years and was named New Mexico's Superintendent of the Year in 2017. He was also awarded the NMAA's Outstanding Service Award in 2019 and was inducted into the New Mexico Coalition of Educational Leaders Hall of Fame in 2019. Ladies and gentlemen, our first inductee, Dr. Crit Caton.
Thank you, JP. I appreciate that very much. First of all, I'd like to give thanks to the good Lord for blessing me with good health and my wife of 33 years and my family, and bestowing a number of blessings on me on a daily basis that sometimes I feel like maybe I don't richly deserve those, or I don't deserve those enough. I'd like to thank Sally Marquez and the NMAA staff and the committee and their selection. I'm sure there were a number of candidates that are probably more deserving that should be standing up here before you today. But I am humbled by the honor, and as I look at the plaques that are off to my left, the folks that have been inducted into this Hall of Fame before me were my mentors, a lot of them, and gentlemen and ladies that I looked up to throughout the course of my career. So thank you for that honor. Congratulations to Tom and Ernie. It's a fine class to go in with. And these guys are legends in their own right as well, and I look forward to joining them as the next Hall of Fame class to come on board. Artesia is a great community, and I was fortunate, my wife was fortunate to be there for 30 years, close to 30 years. I'd like to thank Carrie for her support throughout those years and through the 33 years that she put a job on hold or moved with me and took a job that she could take for the betterment of my career. It's not easy being the wife of a superintendent most days. And so I appreciate you, Carrie. I love you for all the support that you've given me. One of the things that Mike Phipps told me when I first started through it in my career was that you hire good people and then you let them do their job. And so one of my sayings has always been, as well as 2 gentlemen right here that mean a lot to me as well, Superintendent Parks and Superintendent Carpenter, is that you hire good people and then you let them do their job. And it's not about me, it's about we. A lot of the success, 99% of the success that I've experienced is because of what people, the good people that I've been able to surround myself with, and them helping me and blessing me throughout the course of my career. So thanks again. I'm very humbled for the honor, much appreciative, and congratulations to these two guys to my left as well. Thank you, everyone.
You know, it just occurred to me, too, with when Dr. Caton had mentioned the class that's going in. I don't know if you'll find a more competitive group of three, and we have Artesia and St. Michael's and Las Cruces, so we definitely have that for this year's class. Our next inductee is also very worthy of this honor this year, Mr. Tom Manning. For over 45 years, Tom Manning has been a staple in the education system in New Mexico. Manning has coached a variety of sports over the years, including football, basketball, track and field, and golf. He currently serves as co-head coach of the boys' golf team for the Horsemen, in addition to being full-time athletic director. He served on several committees for the NMAA, including the Board of Directors, the NMAA Commission, various sports-specific committees, and the seating and selection committees. He was also a member of the NMADA. He has been awarded the New Mexico High School Coaches Association AD of the Year Award, as well as the NMADA AD of the Year Award and the Santa Fe Public Schools Teacher of the Year Award. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tom Manning.
Thank you. Can everybody hear me? I'm so honored and humbled to be here that words are hard to come by, and that's difficult for me, because I'm pretty wordy most of the time. Congratulations to Crit and Ernie also. And after 46 years in the education business, I have been very honored to have worked with a ton of good people. JP asked me, who were some of the people that had the most effect on my life. Well, after 46 years, there's a ton. We could be here probably all afternoon with me naming people. The possibility of getting into the Hall of Fame never entered my mind. I never, I used to think of these guys as, wow, those guys are something else. To do all of that they do is amazing. And when I was notified that I had been selected for this, I was, like I said, just humbled and did not know what to say. Wow was all I could think of. I can't believe this is happening. So after all these years, I started out in Las Cruces, and it was so rewarding. I was teaching elementary kids PE for 5 years, and I thought, I want to do this the rest of my life. These kids are so much fun. And then I ended up moving back home to Santa Fe and coaching on the only state championship that Santa Fe high schools ever had in football. So that was an honor, a great honor to be on that coaching staff and work with the people and that staff that I had. There's so many people to thank, and I'll start with just thanking the committee and Chris Kedge. I still can't believe it, but I guess it's true. NMAA directors that I work for, Dan Salzwedel, Karen Honeycutt, Gary Tripp, and Sally Marcus, all tremendous people, and they do a great job, and it's a difficult job. For the pressure they're under is crazy. My family, Lisa and David and Mark, who I'm very proud of. The secret of success for an AD, and I would tell this to any young AD, is take your kids to the gym and to the field. You'll never have any they end up great athletes, and it creates longevity in the business because your spouse is very happy and you don't end up divorced. I'd like to thank Phil and Jeannie Satenya, Matt Martinez, Nikki McCarty, for the nominations that they gave me. A lot of my mentors along the way that I can recall that I got help from were Dennis Casados. He's on this Hall of Fame too, helped me along. Joe Butler, Ron Porterfield, Hoyt Moots, Matt Martinez, Al Salazar, who has passed. They all had so much knowledge that I just had to make a phone call to ask any how to do things. Buddy Robertson, Scott Evans, Gene Pino, Ed Ping. There's a great name, Ed Ping. If you ever got to meet Ed Ping, what a guy. He could talk all day long. Angelo DiPaolo, another great man. Mario Martinez, Charlie Saavedra, all great people that I just got help from, and somewhere along the line, I've had, great success in helping mentor the new young guys. And they change so fast, so it seems like a steady stream that we don't get too many that stay that long anymore. My assistants along the way, that I was so blessed to have these people: Carol Williams, Michelle Montano, Ed Vili, Sarah Baca, Janelle Martinez, and Kevin Garcia, who is a coach of mine who's sitting right there. David Rodriguez, who's my basketball coach, and Joey Fernandez came along. Great people. St. Mike's has a lot of success because we keep our coaches. Like Crit said, hire the best, let them do their job. Makes it easy on you, so it's just a blessing to be honored and be put into this Hall of Fame. Thank you very much.
Our final inductee this year is Mr. Ernest Miramontes. Ernest Miramontes has spent nearly 36 years at Las Cruces Public Schools as a teacher, counselor, assistant principal, and athletic director. During his time as district athletic director, Miramontes was instrumental in several facilities improvements, including the addition of the Field of Dreams baseball and soccer complexes and the addition of turf on the Field of Dreams football field. Miramontes has also served the NMAA in several capacities, including the NMAA Commission and Board of Directors, sport-specific committees, the NMAA Hardship Committee, the NMAA Eligibility Committee, and the NMAA Classification and Alignment Committee. He's been named the District Athletic Director of the Year, the NMADA Athletic Director of the Year, was awarded the NMADA President Award in 2007 and 8, and was the NMHSCA, New Mexico High School Coaches Association, Athletic Director of the Year in 2008 and 2009. And as he's sitting here nodding as I'm reading his accomplishments, I hope I got them all right. Our last inductee, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ernest Miramontes.
Wow. One of the questions they asked us back there, JP, thank you. All your life, to me, it's about people. And then when they tell you to talk about yourself, that's the hardest thing. But I can tell you, Miramontes can talk for a long time, so I think that's why they put me last. But first of all, the people I want to thank, and Crit, you and Tom, you guys are always people that I looked up to, and the way you guys handle yourself in meetings and just in person. It's an honor to be part of this group. It's incredible. And we were just all talking, and for me, when I first got the call and was told, it was funny, my life flashed back behind me. That little kid, in case you don't know, Big D is Deming. But I remember 20 miles west of Deming on that little farm where we'd all go together as a family, go watch the games, and then when there were out-of-town games, we'd all huddle up by the little radio and move that antenna so we could get the game. To start there. And then it starts with my parents, my mom and dad, who set the values and they set the path for you, and the two greatest people. My dad was disciplinarian as they come. Nobody works harder than you. You're the first one there. You're the last one to leave. And before he died, when I was graduating from high school, he told me, everything that everybody did to you through your high school career, people coming to your games, people influencing, that's what you've got to do when you leave high school. And very disciplined. Now my mom, on the other side, she was the joker. She was the soothing, the one that told me, when you leave me, you got to care about people. That's the number one priority, care and respect people. And always be willing to help, because that's what it's all about. And she also taught me that in life there's going to be things that just don't go our way. But you know what? That's okay. And you get up in the morning, the sun will rise again. And you got to keep going. And those were the two that set the values for you. And then you have your brothers and sisters that along with you. And then your cousins that were older that all of a sudden left Deming and went to New Mexico State and went away from Deming, and it was okay to go. And you could do something for yourself. And then the families, the nieces, and that started, and Melanie being the oldest right there, she was like my own daughter for me, and she was the one that kind of led all the other nephews and everything, and it just taught me that you have to be a role model. You have to be a role model. And then you go through high school, and Frank Dooley was one of my favorite people. He called me every night for every game, my junior and senior year, and you had to answer the phone. Your mom or dad or your brother or sister couldn't answer, just to make sure you were there. And then you get to college and you realize that I started off in business because I thought everybody kept telling me that's where the money's at. Don't get in education. You'll never get a job. It doesn't pay. But you realize that it's not about the money. It's about the relationships with people. And I mean, one of the greatest things for me is just having people here right now. I mean, look at, we're together. And you move forward, and Coach Dooley taught me a lot about discipline. He taught me how to be a person away from the court, not only on the court. And then you combine that with your mom and dad. There was no other way I could go. And the values were set. And then you move on and you get your jobs. And I started as an elementary PE teacher to a counselor to assistant principal, assistant AD to AD. I kind of went through the steps, went through all the levels. I was blessed that I got picked. But you realize that it's all about people. And I knew I was in the right position. And then when I got the ADs, oh my God, it's humbling, sort of like getting this award. But then it made it easy because then you just start base your philosophies and everything you do the way you were brought up. And 37 years later, but along the line, my wife is here, my daughter Cameron over there, and my nieces that are all, okay, they're all Lobos here, so we're still trying to change them back to Aggies. But I love you guys to death, and Cameron's boyfriend came all the way, and I don't know if he was coming from here because he got to get away from school for another day, but I appreciate you guys being here. And then you move on through the school district, the principals, the superintendents. I think Mr. Rounds and I might be the only two that laugh here because I've been through 12 and 17 years. But they believed in you. And Stan was there for almost 10 years with the Las Cruces Public Schools. He's the one that I was probably spent the most time with. And Stan, you've been awesome. He told me just do what you got to do and I'll support you. And you talk about putting people in the right places and letting them go, and that's what he always did. And Stan, I appreciate it. But again, the family, the friends, I mean, all this, and JP and Sally, who I respect so much, her and her staff, I think I've served on every committee, and then when she says she's going to form another one, I'm already going like that, and she's kind of looking. But that's what it's been about for me, is always helping. And it's about people, and it's how you treat people. And I think for me, the words that always come to me, and I told JP, there's in all your life, in all my life, in everything that I've done, I've always used the approach that there's no letter, there's no I in the word team. In everything I've done, I've always been a team member, and I think that's what's gotten us to where we're at. But again, I could go on the list with all the people that we have associated with, and I'm 37 years in and still going, but it's about people, and it's about, and at the end, it's every day I get up, and I always have my mom right here and my dad right here, and my wife and my daughter, and it's like you're going to make a decision, and you kind of hear what they would want you to do, and it makes it easy to make decisions. And then you surround yourself around good people. And wow, it's incredible. It's humbling. It's like, us? You sure? I mean, we were like, but it's great to be looked up like that. And just the last motto is whatever you do every day on a daily basis, do a good deed for somebody. And secondly, always make decisions that's best for kids. And that's my motto. Thank you.
It's obvious all three of these individuals in speaking and as representative, the people that came to support you as well, they've cared about individuals. They've made a difference in a lot of people's lives. They never set out to have their faces and their names up on these walls with this other distinguished class, but that's exactly where they all deserve to be and where they're going to be as they're inducted into the NMAA Hall of Fame. That concludes our press conference. I want to remind all of you that all three of these individuals will be honored at a banquet on Thursday, March 12th at the Marriott Pyramid Hotel. On behalf of the NMAA, I want to thank all of you for coming and being here today, and want to thank all these three individuals, and again, congratulate them, our class of the NMAA Hall of Fame.